Hi, my name's Eric, and this is my self-reflection podcast. So, within this podcast, we're going to be talking about verbal communication tendencies and nonverbal communication tendencies that I have and I use on a day-to-day basis. And at the end, we're going to be talking about how to improve upon that or what can I practice to pretty much help me. So, first off, we're going to be talking about my verbal communication tendencies. So, first off, I think people interpret my verbal communication tendencies as a laid back and confident type of person. For example, I'm not shy during a conversation with a person, or I rarely stutter when I am conversating with a friend about something. But when I do stutter is pretty much when I get excited or nervous, or I could either use pragmatics because I do loosen up my vocabulary when I'm talking to some friends. So it could either be like, oh, or crap, or dang, whatever like that. But one last verbal communication tendencies that I do when I get excited or nervous is pretty much use verbal clutter. You probably could have heard it within this video. I say a lot, which is mostly due to me forgetting the next word I would like to say, or pretty much me just being nervous for some odd reason. Okay, so next off, we're gonna be talking about my non-verbal communication tendencies. So this one's a short one. So first off, as you can see in the video, I like to use my hands a lot, but that's usually a way to express myself or what I think people think I'm expressing if I'm excited or just nervous, which is pretty much a big habit of mine. So another tendency that I do, which I did not really notice, is actually really positive. So whenever I'm conversating, now say me and you, we're talking one-on-one, just having a normal conversation. So I would like to have my body face towards you, okay? So pretty much I like to maintain eye contact. I like to make sure the person knows that I am in the conversation. No one else is in it. I am not distracted. So probably like one of the last things that I am not aware that I do and pretty much is use paralanguage. So it's pretty much when I'm using, like when I get excited about something, like, hey, did you hear about this? Which can be a double-edged sword. So I pretty much am not aware of my environment like half of the time. So when I do use this paralanguage, which I am not aware sometimes, is pretty much I could be talking to you really loud at a library or at a store or something, and pretty much people would like look at me and I don't notice it, which is another thing I gotta like work on. So now we're on to the topic on how to fix your verbal tendencies or what can I do to practice my tendencies and to stop. So some of the things that I can practice on these tendencies for verbal is that think about what I'm gonna say. Don't like really get into the conversation without thinking about it. Because I do tend to forget some words when I'm talking. I can also probably just take a couple seconds to help and stop and make sure when I do start stuttering during a conversation, just take a couple seconds and work on it. Okay, now for my nonverbal tendencies. Now, some of the things that I've listed were positive, but as I said before, paralanguage is something that I got to work on. So one of the things that I can do to help with these tendencies are usually try to be aware of my surroundings. Sometimes I forget that I'm in an environment, like as I mentioned before, and I bring this loud tone, explosive like language, I guess you could say that. Or I can sometimes like be too loud during the night. I've gotten like lots of noise complaints from my sister. I get calls, texts, or sometimes she comes into my room and tells me to shut up. So that's pretty much something I gotta work on. And just try to use a lower voice tone to work on paralanguage. All right, well, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a good night.